Welcome back to the class, children. I am your science teacher. My name is Mrs. Jyoti. We are in lesson number 5. That is human skeleton and muscular system. So keep your notebook ready, your pencil ready. Open page number 337. Okay, so we have discussed about the different parts of the skeleton. So this is the skull, this is the rib cage, and these are the limbs. Okay, and we have discussed about the girdles. Okay, that is this one. Okay, the big bone here and near the shoulder. And I told you to do the homework about the checkpoints, and I am going to tell you the answers. Please check it. So page number 337. Checkpoints. Fill in the blanks. The first one. An adult being has dash bones. So an adult being, they have 206 bones, whereas a baby, they have 300 bones. Dash protects heart and lungs. Rib cage. Rib cage is going to protect the heart and lungs. So this is the rib cage. Human skull is made up of dash bones. Human skull is made up of 22 bones. It's made up of 22 bones. The largest bone present in the upper arm of the body is called. So this is the upper arm and this is the largest bone, and it is called as humerus. It's called as humerus. But overall in the body, the largest bone is the femur bone, which is the thigh bone. Okay. Then shoulder is formed by dash girdle, whereas hip is formed by dash girdle. So here this one. Okay, back side. Previously I showed you. So this is the pectoral girdle and this is the pelvic girdle. Okay, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. So shoulder is formed by pectoral and hip is formed by pelvic. So write down there in the first blank, pectoral, and in the second one, pelvic. So these are the answers. Check it. First one is 206, second one is rib cage, third one is 22, fourth one is humerus, fifth one, two answers are there. First blank is pectoral and second one is pelvic. Okay. Now, moving to joints. Topic, joint. So what is a joint? Whenever we attach something to each other, the place where two things are meeting is called as a joint. Whenever we are attaching two things, where the two parts are meeting is called as the joint. For suppose this chalk piece is there. Okay, this chalk piece I broke into two pieces. Now I am going to join it. So this particular part will be as the joint. It is called as the joint. Okay. Now moving on to the topic, joints. So joint is a point at which two separate bones meet. Joints are held at a position by strong cords called as ligaments. So joints allow movement and bending in between bones, which make it easy for us to do different kinds of work, like bending our arm to grasp things, bending our legs for work, bending our wrist for writing and holding the objects. So we do many activities in our day-to-day life. So all these things are going to happen because only of the bones and muscles. And if you see the bones, so this is the upper arm and this is the lower arm. The upper arm and lower arm are attached. They are attached. How they are attached? With a tissue called as ligament. They are attached with a tissue called as ligament. Okay, these two bones, they are attached with a tissue called ligament. Now Now these two bones are attached at this particular place. So this is called as a joint. That is called as joint. And now these bones, they help us in movement. Okay. Now this is there. I am able to move it. Yes. Am I able to move? Yes. So with the help of this movement, we are going to do several activities in our day-to-day life. Now I am able to move. I am able to write something on the board. So it is just because of the movement of bones. So joints are classified on the basis of movements such as movable and immovable. So joints are classified into two types. On what basis we have classified the joints? Based on the movement, we have classified into two parts. That is immovable and movable. So immovable joints. That is the joints which cannot move. So immovable joints do not allow any kind of movement. They are also known as fixed joints. They are also called as fixed joints. Joints between the bones of skull are immovable and provide protection to underlying brain. So few bones, they do not move at all. And we have discussed that here there are bones. Okay, the skull is going to have the bone. How many bones does the skull have? It is totally made up of 22 bones. Out of that, 8 are present on the skull. So that 8 bones are attached to each other. 8 bones are attached to each other. Do they move here and there like how we are moving our joints here? No. So the bones are attached but they do not move, and they are going to protect the brain. So those type of bones are called as immovable joint. And what are the other immovable joint? Here you can see the ribcage. Okay, so these are also not going to move. The bones which are to the ribcage, they are also not going to move. And remaining all the bones are flexible. They can bend front and back, and few can move in all the directions. Okay, so this is about the immovable joint. Immovable joints are also called as fixed joint. Then movable. What are movable? Movable joints allow the bones to move freely. These joints help in the body movement. So based on the movement, joints are of two types: immovable, movable. Immovable joints, they do not move, and movable joints, they can move the bones in free direction. Now in this you have the types of movable joint. Yes. So we have different types of joints. Now if you see here my hand, so this hand I can just put it like this and like this, only in one direction. But can I bend it backward like this? It's not going. Whereas my shoulder joint here, so I can rotate it in a circular movement. Yes, I can rotate it in a circular movement. That is, this joint I can move freely in any direction. Whereas this joint here, my elbow, I cannot move my hand back. It's only stopping me here. Isn't it? So, about these kind of different movable joints we are going to learn. So, under movable joints we have total 4 types. How many types are there? 4 types. So, the first one is ball and socket joint. So ball and socket joint. This joint is formed by 2 bones in which one end of the bone is rounded like a ball and it fits into a cup-like socket into the other bone. So this type of joint allows movement in any direction. Example of ball and socket joint are the shoulders and the hip joint. So the best example here are the one bone. So here you can see one bone will have a round end. Okay, this bone, that is the humerus bone, has the round end. Whereas here you can see, and here you can see a cup shape. Okay, the other end will have a cup shape. So this ball and socket joint will allow movement in all the directions. It will allow the movement in all the directions. Example are the shoulder joint and the hip joint. So here also in the hip joint, if you see, it has a round end, and here you can see a cup-like structure where this round end will fit in that cup-like structure. It allows movement in all the direction. So in the textbook also you can see the picture. Next comes the hinge joint. Next comes the hinge joint. Next is hinge joint. This joint moves like a hinge in a door. Such joints allow movement in one direction. Example are the elbow and the knee joint. Okay, knee joint is the one, this is the knee and this is the elbow. So you can allow the movement only in one direction. Same like the door. Only you can open and close. But you cannot turn it in 360 degrees. You cannot turn it around, isn't it? So you can here also you can turn only in one direction. And even your knee also, you can only keep it straight and you can move your leg back side. Okay, this is your leg. You can't lift it like this. You can only bend it back side. Yes. So in the same way, so here this is the joint. So this joint you can only bend it to one side, but you cannot move it back side. So hinge joint is the one which can move only in one direction. Then pivot joint. Pivot joint. This is the joint in which one bone fits into a ring formed by the another bone. It rotates over the pivot like the end to the other bone. Example are the joints the neck to the head. This joint allows sideways as well as up and down movement. So here you can see this is the backbone. So here it forms like a ring, okay, in a round circular movement, and another bone is fixed in that. Okay, another bone is fixed in that. Now the skull has the round ring-like cavity present, and the backbone is going to fix in the skull. The backbone is going to fix in the skull. So here the movement is up and down. So in this movement you can do, and even the sideways movement also you can do, and even the round movement also you can do. So up and down and sides. So all these movements you can do it on a pivot joint. So you can see here the pictures. So this is the hinge joint, pivot joint, and gliding joint is the last one. Okay, the fourth one is gliding joint. These type of joints provide little movement in all the directions. These are the joints present in the ankles and wrist. So these joints are also present in the backbone and help them to bend back and twist. So this gliding joints are present on the backbone here and to the wrist and ankle. Okay, ankle is the leg. Okay, so towards the wrist, and same the ankle also will be in the same way, and the backbone. So they also allow the bones to move in all the directions, but only up to some extent. Only up to some extent. Same like ball and socket joint, they also allow in all the directions, but only up to some extent they can move. So this is about the different types of joints. So movable joints, ball and socket, hinge joint, pivot joint, and gliding joint. Then muscles. About the skeletal system we have completed. Now moving on to muscles. So to this bones there is a muscle attached. Okay, so these bones they give a proper structure to our body, and muscles are going to help us to do the work. With simple bones we cannot do the work, isn't it? So muscles are going to give a perfect shape to the body, and the muscles are attached to the bones. They are attached to the bones. So here I showed you. So this red colored part which you can see is completely the muscle. It is the muscle. Muscle is a soft tissue. They are not hard like the bones. They are very soft. They are around 600 muscles. How many muscles are there? 600 muscles are there. Whereas bones, how many bones are there? For newborn babies, 300 bones are there, and for adult there are 206 bones. So they are attached to the bones with the help of tendons. Contraction and relaxation of muscles cause the movement of bones. So here you can see the bones are attached to each other with the help of a tissue called ligaments. Now to the bones the muscles are attached. To the bones the muscles are attached with the help of a tissue called as tendons. With the help of a tissue called as tendons. Now how our lungs are going to expand and relax? In the same way, whenever we are doing a work, the muscles which are there to the bones, they are also going to contract and relax. They are also going to contract and relax. So you see a bodybuilder, whenever he is lifting the weight, what happens to the muscles? So they are going to contract. They are going to contract, become little big. And whenever he puts the lifts down, whatever weight he is carrying, whenever he keeps down, they are going to relax. So whenever they are lifting the weight, the muscles they are going to contract and they look little bigger. Yes. So contraction and relaxation happens to the muscles whenever muscles they do the work. So functions of muscles. What are the functions of muscles? Responsible for maintaining the posture. So they are going to give a proper shape to our body. They give a proper structure. Okay, they also give the structure, and not only bones, even muscles also give a proper shape. They give a proper shape to our body. Help in locomotion. So muscles are also going to help us in locomotion. So to the bone, muscles are attached. They help us in locomotion. That is in movement, and they control the movement of internal organs such as beating of heart. So not only that, they themselves they control the heart. They control the heart beat. So our heart is going to be plugged up, isn't it? So that everything is under the control of the muscles. So these are the three functions of muscles. They give a proper shape, they help us in locomotion, that is movement from one place to other place, and they are also going to control the heart beat. Yes. Now your homework is you have to draw the types of movable joints. Okay, so you have to draw the types of movable joints. So from page number 338, in bracket I am mentioning 338 page. So here you have ball and socket joint, then hinge joint, pivot joint and gliding joint. So these 4 types of joints you have to draw one time in the homework book. Then in the next session I am going to tell you what are the different types of muscles. So different types of joints you have learned. In the next session I will tell you what are the different types of muscles. What are the different types of muscles? What work do they do? And we are going